BBQ Meatloaf. So what I'm going to do is finally chop up some portobello mushrooms, or you can just throw them in the blender if you want at home, and get them sauteing in my pan for about 5 minutes until they've released all the liquid and have got really nice and golden. So to enable me to call this meatloaf, it has to taste meaty, and that's why I'm cooking these mushrooms for about 4 to 5 minutes until they've got golden, released all their really earthy, rich flavours. And when the mushrooms have released their liquid and gone golden, add some onion, garlic, red pepper, dried sage, rosemary, thyme and cayenne pepper. And I'm also going to add some salt and pepper. That's going to bring out all the flavours. So now that I've got a lovely colour on everything, I'm going to add some cooked sweet potato and get some colour on that before adding some chopped walnuts. A can of chickpeas, I'm using some black chickpeas today, and some breadcrumbs. So the flavours in here at the minute are quite earthy, they're very rich, bold. This is protein packed now. We've got chickpeas, we've got the walnuts, sweet potato for that substantialness, and it's full of such good vitamins and minerals too. And I want to freshen this up, so I'm going to add some lemon zest now and give it a good mix. Chickpeas crushed and the sweet potatoes crushed, and then we're going to put it into our loaf tin. I got this fancy one, and we're going to compact it in as much as possible. If your loaf tin isn't non-stick, just line it with some grease-proof paper to stop the meatloaf from sticking once it's cooked. So this has got to go in the oven now for about 40 minutes on your bottom shelf. So let it cook through. In the meantime, I'm going to make a really nice barbecue glaze to coat this once it's cooked, which will only take a couple of minutes. So for the barbecue sauce glaze, I've got some tomato ketchup in my saucepan. I'm going to add some English mustard, some balsamic vinegar, smoked paprika, soy sauce, coconut sugar or any sugar of your choice, cumin, garlic powder, allspice and a pinch of salt and pepper. And you're just going to want to heat that over a low heat until all of the flavours are infused, ready to coat over the meatloaf once it's cooked. Let that cook away for a little bit. It smells good. Ta-da! Look at that. Perfect meal prep. That can be cut into several portions and frozen if you want to. But what we're going to do for the meal prep, it's now time to glaze it up with that amazing barbecue sauce that we made. I'll get some cherry tomatoes on top and I'll put it in the oven for a further 12 minutes just for that sauce to really caramelize around it. Oh, look at that. Oh my gosh, look at that barbecue glaze. Yes, coat it all in that. And we'll get some tomatoes on top now. And the meatloaf, the nice evening meal, which you could serve with rice if you wanted to as well, or another carb if you liked. Let's give this a taste.
Up these chocolate peppermint truffles, which are made with just 4 simple ingredients. We're gonna start with adding some whole vegan chocolate and cream sandwich cookies to a food processor, and then just blitz them up into fine crumbs. Then we can add in some plain vegan cream cheese and a little bit of peppermint extract. Then blend it all up again and transfer the mixture to a bowl. All right, now we're just gonna pop this into the freezer for about half an hour or so to harden. When it's firmed up, scoop up about a tablespoon of the mixture to roll into a ball, and then place that ball onto a parchment-lined plate. Then we're going to transfer the truffles to the freezer again while we melt some chocolate. For the chocolate, you can either melt it in a double boiler on the stove, which we now know how to do, or you can microwave it at 600 watts. Just be sure to stop it and stir it every 20 seconds, and then when the chocolate is fully melted, set it aside just to cool off for a little bit. Now what we're gonna do is place one of the balls onto a fork and pour the melted chocolate over top of it to coat it. Swipe away any excess chocolate before transferring the truffle back onto the lined plate. For a festive flair, but this is optional, you can also sprinkle some chopped crushed candy cane on top. Then pop these back into the fridge one final time to firm up until you're ready to enjoy them. The contrast in textures is my favorite part. You've got this crisp chocolate shell with a soft melt in your mouth center. They kind of remind me of Girl Scout cookies or Thin Mints. They're irresistible.